The success of this channel comes from tower defense games, so now I think it's time to give back to the community and try to make one from scratch with pretty much no experience, using only a few different methods: ChatGPT, YouTube videos, forums, and the help of anyone who wants to contribute to the game. And let's see what type of creation we can come up with. So I asked ChatGPT for some help with the Roblox tower defense game, and it's saying step number 1 is going to be enemy pathing system. So I'm assuming that just means how the enemies move along the path and how they get to the end tower where it's like going to destroy your base or whatever, something like that. So I guess that's where we'll start. And it looks like, actually, this is kind of crazy too, Gnome's first video is path navigation. So with that being said, I guess that's where we'll start in today's video, and we're gonna try to accomplish this. We're gonna code it all ourselves. In the future, if I need help, we'll reach out to some friends of ours that know how to do that kind of stuff, because luckily we actually already made one game called Bike Battles, and you know, I didn't code it or anything, but they helped me, they showed me some tips and tricks, and we have a fully functional game. It's pretty cool. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to build this tower defense game. So let's see what we can come up with, and I have a really cool theme for you guys. I'll show you what it is right now. So as you guys can see, I think a World War type vibe-ish tower defense game would be super awesome. Obviously, we're gonna start small. We're gonna start with whatever Gnome tells us how to build, you know, showing us if it's just simple zombies to start off with. That's fine. We can always change those out for, of course, soldiers in the future, but I think that theme will be amazing. And we'll start simple. Obviously, I don't know really much how to do this at all, so hopefully all these different tools we have at our, you know, disposal here will, you know, help us out and put this game together. And maybe one day down the road we'll be playing a functional World War tower defense type game. That would be sick, guys. Let's get started. We got the studio pulled up, we got the tower defense map created. Let's hop into it. Well, my friends, here we are in the world. The start of something great begins right here, right now. Who knows how long this may take, but surely it's gonna be a fun time. One day at a time we take it, and you know, we'll see what ends up happening. If you guys like this idea, please help me, you know, let me know in the comments, like, is it a good idea? You know, give me some tips, tricks, whatever it takes. You know, definitely drop a like if you want to see more of these types of videos, and let me know, like, is this going to be a good idea, bad idea? Like, I just want to know so that way, you know, I'm not wasting my time here. If you guys think that this is going to be a complete flop, then I'll just cut it now. But if the video does good, you guys want to see more episodes, you know, we'll try to document pretty much every single step that we make towards completing this game and project and journey. It's going to be something we all do together, and hopefully one day in the future we look back at this video and we can be like, holy, you know, we made it this far. We got a fully functional game with crazy maps, crazy units, crazy tanks, stuff like that, airplanes flying around. Who knows? It could be pretty epic, and I'm excited to see where this takes us. All right, let's get started with path navigation. So I'm assuming we're gonna have to get some parts, and we're probably gonna have to slap them down in a path, you know, looking way, and you know, we'll do that. Let's figure out how to do that. All right, I'm gonna watch the video. We're gonna get this going. All right, guys, so yes, I was correct. We are gonna have to get a part here. We're just gonna click that, I guess, probably click this, and we're probably gonna have to scale it in a way so it actually makes sense, like a path, and we could do something like that. And then surely we could just go ahead and like maybe copy and paste a couple of these into the workplace here, and you know, maybe move them around a little bit, rotate them. There's probably shortcuts. If you guys do know any of the shortcuts, please feel free to let me know, because that'll make my life a whole lot easier. So thank you for anyone who teaches me some of those. But we'll do something kind of simple here. You know, obviously we're not going to go and try to do something too crazy with our first ever map and path and stuff like that. So let's just kind of keep it simple, keep it easy, and we'll just kind of keep pasting a few of these in, and we're going to figure something out here. And obviously, like, we don't have to make them all the same size. Like, you know, we could do something like that. And then just kind of want to make sure they're all connected. And I know for a fact that we don't ever want like anything overlapping, because I think that messes up with the game engine. I don't know why, but I just think that it does. So let's try our best to avoid that. But I really wonder if there's some sort of like quick rotation type, like hotkey or something like that, because man, that would probably come in handy. I'm not gonna lie. But let's like scale this thing up like this. and we kind of cut the track going back the other way, and that should be pretty solid. You know, like I said, we don't really know exactly what we're all doing yet, right? But like, we're gonna try our best and make something kind of fun. So, you know, is this a good track? I have no idea, because like, we don't even have like a map created or any idea for a map, so there's still so much vision that is going to be needed for the game. But that's fine. That's all stuff that we could easily do in the future, I feel like, especially like with the help of some like AI and just kind of looking at other games for like ideas. Then like maybe we could like really quickly come up with some like good map, like, you know, just like looks to it or something cool like that. Like, who knows, right? Like, it might be a lot easier than we think. But like I said, guys, we're gonna keep this mostly simple here, and we're not gonna make it anything too crazy. Let's just try like Control R, and control, guys, I figured out the shortcut already. I figured rotate with R, and you know, it would just rotate, and look at that, it did. That's awesome. All right, guys, what do you think of that so far for our first track? I mean, we can make it, obviously, maybe like take this and I don't know, maybe go like, let's just put in another one there like real quick, and maybe we'll scale that down a little bit like that, and then add one final one in, I guess, or something like that. I gotta remember to use the short. Oh, I just added another one in on accident there. Don't want to do that, but we're gonna go grab that one, and that's pretty much good. I think I feel like that is a solid starter track. Kind of gives me vibes of Towards Our Defense is like good old city, except we're missing the whole city background. We need to figure that out. But guys, that's gonna be our path for this first track. We're gonna see what we have to do next. I'm pretty sure the key is to put like waypoints down and then like have the enemies go around the track. And like I said, guys, we are gonna have like a military themed and like actual soldiers instead of zombies. But I think in the video they show it with zombies, Gnome. So huge shout out to Gnome for helping us with this, you know, not directly but indirectly. And we're gonna add the zombies or whatever we have to add, and we're gonna try to figure out how to get those to walk around the track. So we'll work on that next. Well, I added the zombie in just because it's the one he was using, so I was just trying to check out to see if things were similar, and he just kind of killed my soldier dude, so that's kind of cool right now. So we're going to have to figure this out, make sure that the soldier guy is back alive. Probably have to delete the zombie. It's chasing me around the map right now. It's kind of crazy. Low-key, I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out one step at a time, boys. One step at a time, and we're going to get this going. All right, guys, so we got our little soldier here, and we're just going to delete the zombie because we don't need him right now, but we got the soldier on the track, so we're trying to get him from here to here. This is our little end waypoint. I called it end, and we're basically gonna try to do this, but I don't think he's gonna just stay on the track. He's probably just gonna walk straight on over, and I did add the script already to test this out. So we just went in here, we added this little script, and we call it local soldier equals script.parent, and then soldier.humanoid move to, and then it's gonna move to that end position. Now what's gonna happen though, like I said, is there's really nothing telling him to stay on the track, which seems to be a problem. So I'm guessing that this isn't really going to work properly the first like go around at this. We're probably gonna have to add waypoints around everywhere, but let's just run this, see what happens. And hey, he's moving. That's good. In my opinion, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, boys. And it looks like he's facing off this way, so that part must be facing that way, which is something that I have to figure out how to get the orientations on of like which way it's actually facing, because I think that's going to be important, because probably like every time he hits like a certain area, he's gonna like, you know, if I don't have the part facing this way, it'll just be like kind of goofy, just like sliding across, maybe even going backwards. Who knows? We got to make sure it's all facing the right way. But let's just take a look at that one more time, make sure he's going the right way. And yep. All right, so once again, that's good. If that part were here, then he'd be on the track still. So let's try to get some more parts down, and we'll just kind of have to probably name each waypoint like 1 to, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably like 10 or 12 of them. So we'll figure that out. Let's get those down, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so we had this dude from here going to here, but that's not how we got to do this. We got to make sure that we get him to go to each and every single waypoint. So we created our own little waypoint folder, and now we're just going to name these, and we're probably going to have to duplicate them a bunch of different times here, which is fine. We'll do that. It's not honestly the biggest of deals. Honestly, I'm more worried about naming all these parts because that's going to be really annoying, but we're just going to throw these guys right in the middle here. But one thing that is somewhat important, I believe, is we're gonna have to go into each and every one of these parts and make sure that we show the orientation on them, because we got to make sure that they're facing the right way. You see how this is the front right here? We got to go ahead and make sure we go ahead and rotate that part so it's facing the right way. So that way when the guy hits it, he'll hit it and then turn left. He'll hit it, turn left, and then hit this one, turn right. So we're gonna go ahead and add all of these. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, I think like 12. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. All right, guys, so as you can see, we got every single one of these little pieces down. It actually took 13, so I was pretty close in guessing that, but we got all the orientations, I believe, facing the correct way, which will help us in the long run. And let me just double check with that, but I think I did every single one correctly. I don't know why the waypoints are out of order here. It goes 1, 12, 11, you know, whatever. That is definitely going to annoy me a little bit. I don't know why it's necessarily doing that, because in my opinion, I don't know, that's kind of weird. Doesn't seem right, but hopefully everything still works out and ends up working just the way it's supposed to. But anyways, from here, we are going to have to go ahead, because like if we go ahead and play this, like, you know, play the game and actually try to run the script, it's not going to work anymore because we don't have a piece that's called end anymore. Like, this is no longer called end, that's just called 13. So we're gonna have to go into our script and actually change some things up. So the script is obviously going to be located inside of the soldiers. So we're going to go in here, open this up, and we're going to have to change a few different things here, especially when it comes to this line right here. We're gonna have to add a lot more, because we're gonna have to access our waypoints folder. That is definitely gonna be somewhat important here, and I believe I capitalized the W, so I don't know if you're supposed to be capitalizing stuff or not. I'm just gonna be doing it, and hopefully it ends up working out for us. I don't even see, like, I don't know if that matters right here. I'm gonna assume that maybe it doesn't, but I know that here we have to spell this correctly. As you can see, it just kind of pops up right for us, just like that. Very nice. And that's going to access that folder pretty much. You know, it's going to give us the full access to it. So that's good. And once again, guys, I don't really know exactly what I'm talking about, but I am watching these videos. I'm trying to read these forums and understand what is going on here. So if y'all have any tips for me, please feel free to let me know. If, like, you know, like, you know, anyone that's like really good at this type of stuff and they got good videos on it or whatever, you know, feel free, let me know, and maybe we could go ahead and do something crazy like this. But right now, I believe we're making a for loop, and this should help us when it comes to running our stuff. So let's just try this out. Right now, it's giving us some squiggly red lines. Never a good sign, but it looks like this is the code that we are actually going to need right here. So we can just do tab to accept that, and I believe that is exactly what we want it to do. So that's awesome. How I don't understand that. Like, that must be some sort of AI kind of just working itself in to the whole scripting program of Lua or whatever, like, you know, whatever you call this, the Roblox just studio, I guess. It maybe has its own sort of AI or whatever. I don't know. It just kind of can detect what you're trying to do, but let's just try this out. Let's see what happens here. See if it works. It looks like he is moving, so that's pretty cool. Now, let's see, is he moving correctly? Sometimes it looks like he's like off to the side a little bit, which is kind of weird. I'm assuming that's just something to do with the way the character is just set up, but maybe not, maybe so. I don't really know, but it's definitely working. 100% working. We gotta be honest with ourselves here. That's pretty solid so far. I like what I see. He got to the end and he stopped. So when he gets to the end and actually stops here, like, probably like we're gonna have to set up some sort of thing where like he hits 13, he's auto destroyed, and then like eventually we're gonna have a base here with its own health pool and system and stuff like that. So then, you know, depending on what enemy you are or what enemy attacks you, then you're gonna get damaged and so on and so forth. So that is step number 1. Pathing is, you know, definitely far from being complete. Most likely we're gonna have to get rid of these little red dots and stuff like that. But guys, hey, that's a good sign to start the video off. Also, we can maybe go ahead and add in one final part before we wrap up part 1 of this video. We pretty much followed along of Gnome here. I think I followed along pretty well. I don't think I screwed anything up. Obviously, we're just going to keep following along, trying to figure this out, and definitely trying to make a really, really cool map here, you know, throughout the future. I will maybe, like I said, we'll take feedback from you guys that are watching the video. We'll take feedback on like adding enemy types. You know, when it comes to balancing the game, we're probably gonna need some feedback there. Like, this is gonna be a big community project and hopefully something that we can continue. Like, I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. Like, it's gonna be fun for me. Like, you know, I'm kind of excited to just kind of try this out. But you know, also I hope that you guys are going to like something like this. I mean, I see a lot of people out there, they definitely like their little coding videos and whatnot, but we're gonna, you know, just give it our all and see what we could do, guys. I want this to be like 0.5 exactly. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it to be 0.5. 0.49 is gonna have to work. But anyways, we're just gonna add this in right now just so I don't lose my mind and like it kind of looks better. So we're just gonna go like that, make it nice green, I guess, or just something like that for right now. And I guess we could maybe add in some grass. So let's just see here. Grass, where's the grass at? Come on, it's gotta be in here somewhere, right guys? Where the heck's the grass? There it is. Is it the prettiest grass in the world? Absolutely not. But is it grass? It is most definitely grass if you ask me. And then all of these right here, learned a little tip. You just kind of go like that, and we can maybe turn this into some sort of pathway. I don't know, make it a little bit darker, plastic. Maybe we can make it like cobblestone or something like that. Limestone, what does that look like? That looks good, actually. I like that. Limestone, that looks actually pretty good. That's solid right there already. So boom, already guys, we're making this look like a legit map. We can just kind of throw that little spawn box there. I don't know how to get rid of all this, honestly. Like, is that just the workspace? Like, what is all that? Base plate, maybe? I think it might actually be this. Let's just try to delete that real quick. And boom. All right, guys. There we go. We got something going for ourselves here. So this, I guess we could kind of just call, like, the grass. I don't know. Like, what else would you call that, right? Just the grass. And maybe we put that in with the path. Well, it's not really technically part of the path, but, like, you know, we're just gonna throw it in there and call it part of the path for right now, right? So it's part of the path, all right, in its own little way. Unless it's gonna matter in the future, we're just gonna toss it in there just for organization, and that will be that. I probably have to go in here and anchor this though, so it doesn't like fall immediately as soon as we start playing. So let's check this out, guys. The guy's moving, everyone's running around, and also I had to make sure that these guys, I initially had a problem where he was like running into it, and it was like actually affecting his movement because like it was a real object, but now he could kind of just walk right through them. I don't know why, like I said, he's kind of not facing the right way necessarily. I don't really know why, but it seems like on some of them he is, and then on some of them he's like kind of not, but it's mostly good. It's mostly good for sure. So I'm happy with that for right now for our first video and first time trying something like this out. That's pretty solid. It's definitely going to be interesting though. We have to add in health and stuff. We're probably going to be doing that in the next video, I would assume, but that is pretty good so far for video number 1. Guys, thank you if you made it this far in the video. Everyone drop a weird comment. Just say something about this soldier guy. Say, I don't know, whatever you want. Say something about him, all right? Say something weird. Say something goofy. I don't care. Say something, but let me know. Hit the like button if you guys want to see more of this. All right, I want to see, you know, if this video gets a ton of likes, then we'll definitely create more videos like this and continue the series and hopefully be able to make something really cool and stuff like that. I don't know, guys. I think it could be something fun. I'm already excited. I hope you guys can see the potential here. This, like, it already is coming to life. Like, look at this, guys. We already got a track. We already got stuff going on. Like, hey, boys, we could go to the toolbox place here, whatever the, let's see, where's it at? It's called the viewport, maybe. Yeah, the toolbox. So we'd have to stop it, go in here though. Start adding some like trees in and stuff. Like, let's see what happens when we type in trees. So looks like you can add a crazy tree house. No way. Realistic trees. See, I don't know if like you could like take all this stuff, but it seems like marked as a high quality item. From what I've read in the past, the high quality items is like okay to use in your game. Now, you don't really want to use like too much of like free assets. I know that for sure, but like, you know, I'm not too worried about that right now because like this is just our, you know, it's not going to be our full end game type place. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to make it look a whole lot nicer down the road. But for right now, absolutely, totally fine with me. We'll, you know, continue to do some stuff like this. You could actually add a Minecraft tree. What the heck? That's crazy. I'm not going to do that, obviously. That would be a little ridiculous. But wait, what? That's actually so wild. Let's delete that, though. But yeah, so we'll have our first tree right there, a little path, and first soldier. So that's going to be some cool stuff, guys. I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Hopefully you all want to see more of this. But that is going to be day number 1, and it is currently like 7 or 8 a.m. right now. So I'm going to be going to sleep because you guys know we just did a huge Among Us stream. Tune into our Among Us streams, guys. We've been doing it like every stream recently, so it's been pretty fun. Shout out to Freak Show. He dropped a 200 bomb today in the stream. What a legend. Thank you guys for watching, though. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.